Hi there, my name's Laura Bazell and I'm Module Coordinator for AR1007 Archaeology, the Essentials. This is a first year module taken by our BA and BSc students in archaeology and also by our ancient history and archaeology students and our history and archaeology students. So it's a partner module to AR1009. So if you're an archaeology student, you might want to check out Dr. Rachel Crellin's video of that module so you'll understand how the basics that you learn with me are then developed and consolidated by Rachel in AR1009. In Archaeology, the Essentials, the aim is really to give you a really solid understanding of the history of the discipline and the key methods that we use as archaeologists to understand and interpret the past. But alongside that, I'm hoping that you'll develop skills in critical thinking, in problem solving and practical skills. So this will be really useful if you go on to become an archaeologist or have a career in the heritage sector, but also they're transferable skills. So if you choose a completely different career, they'll still be relevant. Some of them will be quite hands-on, others will be more technological and digital, so it's a whole range of different approaches. So you'll learn through reading and attending lectures, but as you might have guessed, I love to get away from the computer, and I think one of the best ways for students to really remember things is by having a go themselves. So with that in mind, I've devised the module so that each week you'll have a series of small tasks to complete. They'll be quite varied and they will complement the theme of the week. And that's also the form of assessment. So by the end of the module, you should have your notes from each weekly theme, from your reading and your lectures, but also your completed exercises written up. And it's that which is marked and assessed for the module. So hopefully by the end of the module you'll have a really nice portfolio of work that you can feel really proud of and see what you've learnt and how you've developed over the course of the semester. So what will we actually cover? Well, we're standing here in a beautiful medieval village just near Hound Tor on Dartmoor. And as you can see, there are a whole series of ruined walls here. But how would you go about planning that? How would you go about recording the elevations? And how might you go about dating it? So there are lots of different ways you could start to understand this site. So those are the sorts of things that we'll cover. We'll also look at how you find a site, both the low-tech and the high-tech ways, and things like map reading, for example. We'll have a go at some map reading because when the fog's rolling in, as it's about to here, it's really useful to have these skills if your GPS isn't working and you don't have any other means of getting in touch with people because your phone battery is dead or something. So that'll also be quite helpful if you go on to develop skills in GIS later on in your career, Geographical Information Systems. So understanding the basics is really important if you're really to understand the more high-tech solutions later on. We'll also look at artefacts. So by the end of the module, I would hope that you'll be well equipped to give me a clear interpretation of an object like this and to describe it and have a good idea of how to draw it. But you would also feel confident enough to have a go at something less familiar like this, thinking about what it's made from, where it's come from and what it meant to the people who produced it. Also, something like this. What was that made for? And who by and when? So these are the sorts of objects that you should become quite familiar with, and even if you don't know the answer immediately, you should be able to work it out. And I think for me that's really what this module is about. It's about developing the skills and the ability to ask questions and to problem solve, and I think that's probably the thing that I find most satisfying as a teacher and as a lecturer for this module. So I'm going to leave you to enjoy the view for a minute before the fog covers it, and otherwise I look forward to seeing you in September. Bye!